What's good, YouTube? It's KUCES. I just released Binding by Blood, and I'm going to be breaking down the first single of the EP, Let Me Go. So I have a V station. Pretty cool and pretty reverb, compression, saturation on it. V station key preset. Cymatics ambience mixed in with the splice loop ambience in the intro as well, because having that tonal noise always adds tension to the track. And then we got a little Reese as well. And then we got my wonderful vocals, of course.
If I find the truth, are you letting go? What you put me through, they don't have to know.
And a lot of you wonder what I use for my vocal processing. This song in particular, I can kind of go through and break it down for you. First up, we have a gate, just to get, rid of any background noise or anything like that. And then I use wave, auto tune. Then I got an EQ cutting out the low. And then after the EQ, I got a saturator, OTT, and then a Saturn. I'm using the clean tape bass, I think, also just for some warmness, add some color to the vocal. Compression, more OTT, and then we got a soothe. It looks like this is just a regular factory default soothe, and then I have one that's for the de-essing as well. So parallel compression after everything, cut out the lows again, and then boost the highs, and then a limiter. Almost forgot group stuff. For the reverb, Pro R sounds the best to me on vocals, so highly suggest trying that. Then I have the ping pong delay, and then I got a manipulator, I think, for some fills here and there. LaFonk, a really cool plugin from the homie Speedrez and Paper Skies. And then when it starts coming towards the build up here, I added the section with the little fills. So I bring the Reese up an octave to bring the tension up, and then I also have the automation on the vocal.
What you put me through, they don't have to know.
So while that's progressing on the track, I also got some vocals and stuff in the background. Just in the background to fill it up a little bit. And then this is also coming in the little fills to add tension. And that's also got a cool effect on it, along with the Astaroth effects. And then while all that's going on, I also have these like orchestral drums that I made that are grouped together that are getting filtered up. They got a whole bunch of saturation, transpire, reverb, G-clip, general stuff, and they also help bring the track together. This is what the drums sound like on their own. And then I got some sweeps along with some downlifters. So in the build up, I just kept everything pretty tonal. I didn't add, anything crazy. I just added more risers, and I kept the chord progression the same and the Reese on one note. One cool thing I like doing for build ups, especially if you have a Reese in the intro, is just getting the pitch knob and then just bringing it up when it starts to build up. And then I bring in the drums from the drop, and I have them being filtered up. And I got some cool percussion loops from the homie Garrison. I do have one of the main basses play in the pre-drop as well at a lower pitch. I think it's time to get into the main drop. Can go into this noise I made right here first. As you can see, it's a really weird operator patch. I mean, that's like gotta be one of the most basic sounds you could create, and I just threw a bunch of effects on it. Some noise and some distortion, and I just resampled that again and got into this. And then I threw a whole bunch of effects on it: dynamic tube, compression, saturation, distortion with the spread on the kilohertz distortion, which I did learn it won't cause any problems with the low end if you have that spread up. Saturator, tape stop, soothe, dynamic tube, just compression and just saturation and playing with all that really brings it, the textures and the sound out more. Sub, we got a bunch of erosions, sub patches, just basic shape, tube, EQ. Looks like cutting out some of the mid-high range, monoing it, doing the distortion with the spread. Looks like a hard clip preset. Ambassador, saturation, and then glue compressor. And then this is the main synth of the drop. It looks like the synth that I use is a resampled sound as well. So this is the original sound. I guess I just fucked around with it and gave it a little melody. Like I use my Mishby preset, which is honestly just a Mishby, turning off all the bullshit settings, bringing the gain up, and then put a saturator at the end, which that really is not needed. The real sauce here was the spectral gate. This is from Stepwise. Manic is the one that showed me this. This is what really helps bring that sound together. Kind of that Kanoto sound, because he uses that in his music as well. And then I, compressed it a shit ton and then EQ'd it. It looks like I threw another layer on the top. Just a chant vocal in the background, along with the little vocal fill. I have the main vocal back in the main drop, and it's got a manipulator on it. And then a little tonal utility, another noise chant thing, and then a laser, along with the little vocal chop loop. Then you put that all together. All right, now for the drums. So the kick, I think just one of my kicks just resampled. And what I like doing to help bring the transient through on your kicks is to take a transient from a kick that you like and then just simply just drag it on and just fade it in. That's how you can get a lot of nice kick samples. Besides that, looks like I got a G clip, transient shaper on it. I'm cutting off the highs, keeping it in mono. Yeah, I don't think the G clips are doing that much either. Softness on it. I'm just boosting the volume again. Then I got a kerosene little kick in as well. That's like a little fill kick, which I like a lot. So that helps with the groove. And then another kerosene clap, which is a fat clap that's carrying the song for real. And this has some bass mono in it because some of the low end was too wide, and then I brought the attack up a little bit. Highly recommend getting Kerosene's pack if you haven't. And then I got some Kerosene hat, Agony Ride, and Ivory Ride, along with the Ivory hat. As you can see, they don't have any crazy effects on them, just a little shifter, transpire to duck the attack a little bit, and then EQing the lows. The second half of the drop isn't too crazy. The only difference is there's like a slight fill difference, and then I add ambience in the background as well. The same ambience that I had in the intro, so it kind of brings the attention back. The Reese is already in the first half, but I threw in a Reese with this Vital chord. Pretty dope fills. And then besides that, I just changed the flow. And then for the last drop, I made this third drop a lot later, so I had some newer samples, so I just incorporated it into the final drop. A lot more ambience and noises now, along with this cool piano loop that I put in. Cool way to variate the song and make it like a darker drop, kind of. Threw in my vocal in the background, which honestly, I didn't even know that was in the drop. Then I changed the kick to a new kick I made. Like I was saying, how everything was new, I threw in a newer bass that I made. The same effect here. It looks like just reversed. The same kind of progression that I had going the whole song. Yeah, then I have this piano thing getting reversed too, which adds a cool effect. It's really cool when it's all together. And then as far as I have on the drum group, a little Saturn with a little mix for my groups. Saturator with digital clip, Pro L, and some instances I have it off most of the time. And then the glue compressor just at the threshold, just so your drums can punch through harder. And then for my sidechain, I use chain shaper. And then for my master, I just have a ozone imager, lowering the frequencies barely, low multiband compressor. Basically, it prevents the sub and the kick from fighting with each other in the mix. It's an easy way of dealing with that. And then I have a saturator with digital clip. And then you want to make sure that your high quality settings off on that as well. Hopefully this helps you guys in your production journey. and a kind of cool way for you guys to see what I do for my productions. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about this track. I'll be sure to answer it in the comments down below. And if you haven't streamed my new EP yet, By Night by Blood, please go stream it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.